Hi, my name's Alex. This is day 21 of the 30-day challenge where I'm learning to speak better English, build my camera confidence skills as well as my mind-mouth connection. So the new Pixel phone, it's been out, the Pixel 10 has been out for a couple weeks now, and the review seems to be generally pretty positive until this point. Now that is honestly quite a surprise given the history of the Pixel lineup. And I have been dying to get the latest Pixel 10 Pro or XL, and I have not done it yet. And I have been using the Google phones for the past decades. My first smartphone is a second-hand iPhone 4 or 4S, I think. And then after that, I've switched to the Google Android. It was HTC and Huawei phones back in the day. And after that, it was Pixel 4s and the Pixel 7 Pro, which is the phone I'm currently using right now. And I typically have an 3-year upgrade cycle, and I am still debating whether to get the latest upgrade. So first of all, I love the native Android experience. The UI is amazing, it's vibrant, and it just feels more fun in compared to, let's say, iOS. And I never consider other brands' phone outside of the Google Pixel lineup because I just don't like the UIs of Samsung's or Xiaomi's. And those phones, they usually come with a lot of bloatwares. Pixel phone this year, it is sort of an upgrade, but at the same time, a little bit disappointing. I feel like the previous generation Pixel phones was the best bang for buck mobile phone on the market. It was very smooth Android experience, and the software just boosts the photo taking ability to the whole new level, even though the hardware completely lagged behind other competitors. And I think that competitive advantage that Google phones used to have, the software that boosts the hardware experiences have sort of gone, when you are comparing Pixel 10 to other, let's say, Samsung phones. And it is sort of feel like Google is using that software is the selling point of a Pixel phone as an excuse to not upgrade their hardware. I tried out the Pixel 10 Pro camera in store, and it was definitely pretty amazing, especially compared to my Pixel 7 Pro in terms of video quality. But the front camera, man, the front camera is just lags behind so many other smartphones. Let's say if you compare it to previous generations of iPhones, man, even iPhones were 2-3 years old still outperform the Google 10 Pro camera, the front camera, and that just kind of sucked from a consumer point of view. And the software, Google has been advertising its AI features throughout the entire marketing cycle. And I honestly, as a consumer, right, I don't really care that much about those AI features because, okay, let's say I'm using ChatGPT the most. I get the same ChatGPT experience from my web, from my iPad, from my Pixel 7 Pro. Like, it's not that much of a difference. It is an app. It works on pretty much every single smartphone. And the integration of all the Gemini features that comes with Pixel, first, I think a lot of that experiences is also available on other smartphones. It is not that much of a differentiator or competitive advantage when you are comparing Pixel phones to other Android phones. I do think it is a lot better when you are comparing to the iPhone iOS ecosystem, but the Apple AI is just kind of like a meme, a joke at this point, and the iOS user base doesn't really care that much about native integration of AI features. Plus, a lot of the additional features that Google advertised, I just feel like they are a nice to have, not life-changing. I feel like one of the reasons is that even though AI is really hot and pretty intelligent at this point, but the integration between AI and our everyday uses of a phone is still not there yet. A lot of it is still depending on a chatbot interaction where you are giving exact command of what you want the AI to do for you. And it is still not that intuitive when all you have to do is just press a couple of buttons and you get what you want to do. However, I still like Pixels. I am still considering getting a Pixels because there are some things that only Pixels offer. One, as I mentioned, I love the Pixel Android experience. It is still best in its class, and the Android UI is still fun to navigate around, still very colorful. And even though the hardware is not there, but Pixel definitely have that very unique look, like the visor here. That is a very unique Pixel thing. So I remember this one time on the MRT where I was using my phone and then I look up across the carriage and there was another guy who was holding a Pixel. It was a couple years ago and Pixel wasn't that popular in Taiwan, and he saw me holding a Pixel and just goes like, it was like a broad nod or something. Yeah. So that was an experience that is very unique to the Pixel users. And when I hang out with some of my friends, and there are a couple of them who uses Pixel because of my recommendation, and every one of them love it. It is sort of like our thing, like you don't get that kind of conversation or experiences with people if you're using a Samsung or an iPhone. And also, I could be wrong about this, but I do think Pixel have the best call screening ever. So based on what I know, on iPhone you have to download Who's Call and pay for it in order to get call screening. And I think it is the same for other Android phone. I mean, obviously the system have some basic call screening, but the Pixel, the Google phone, it have the best call screening. A lot of time is when I receive a call, it's going to tell me where the call is from, whether it's a spam or it will just sometimes show like the company name on the caller ID. That is absolutely amazing. And one of the problems that I have with Pixel 7 Pro, and also the reason why I didn't upgrade to 8 or Pixel 9, is because of the heating issues. So like if I'm using my Pixel to record a video or do a video call, it will get incredibly hot for like a minute or two, and that really sucks. But as far as I can tell, that is not the issue for Pixel 10 series, probably because they have added the vapor cooling chamber as well as using chips developed by TSMC instead of Samsung. So yeah, I'm still considering buying a Pixel, but given my financial situation now, I am still unsure whether that's a good idea or a bad idea. And also, the new iPhone just came out. A lot of internet is full of a lot of memes about the new iPhone, especially the Pro Max. But I absolutely love the design. It is very Pixel-like, and I find it to be ugly in the coolest way possible. And as this content creation journey continues, I am looking to shoot more videos, hopefully outdoor as well. And iPhone, it is just best mobile phone to shoot any videos. I mean, just look at all the shows and the latest F1 movies that have shots that come from an iPhone. It is pretty damn amazing of what a phone can produce. But I don't know, I'm still thinking to stick to the Pixel for the time being because I'm just not a huge fan of the iOS system. There is the back button gesture, which is pretty much universal on all Android phones thanks to Google's effort to push their back button feature, and it is not an universal thing on iPhone. And I also like that Android allows you to customize the way you want your phone to look, which iOS has been catching up over the years, but I don't think it is there yet in terms of personalization of your phone. So I don't know, I think I maybe use it as a reward for myself after I have completed this challenge or whatever challenge that I set for myself after this 30-day challenge. So if you watch until this point, like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.